Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Dychronic, your show on this Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Destiny 2 weekly reset, weekly reset for September 22nd, 2020. Everything that has reset from the Nightfalls, the Crucible, the different planetary stuff, that is a major reset, as well as all the new stuff. First and foremost, there is new stuff this week, on top of the fact that there is going to be increased infamy for this week, so you get double during the week and triple during the weekend for all infamy and all infamy playlists. There's also a new quest, which is seemingly connected to the lore storyline, especially as we approach near the end of the season. So you get a message when you log on to Destiny 2. It talks about how Anna has a new thing that's detected the Golden Age research that's supposed to be on Mars, but for some reason I can't see it. Perhaps you have to go down to Mars, perhaps you have to talk to somebody else first, but it does not seem to be showing up right now. But presumably this is going to be a continuation of the story. There doesn't seem to be any more exotic quests, but there might be something special we don't know about. Meow. Meow. Moving on with the regular weekly reset stuff, let's go ahead and take a look at the Nightfalls. For the ordeal this week, it's going to be Strange Terrain. If you've ever seen Strange Terrain before, there's a very special glitch that you could probably get 100k on the regular 750 adept level for this particular Nightfall. All you have to do is kill those yellow health knights that drop the balls you throw at the crystal. Instead of throwing at a crystal, just throw it off the edge, you get a new knight, and then that's another elite enemy, and then you just keep on getting lots of points. However, obviously this is a bit of a grind, so try to do as high as you can, but this one's going to be a really easy one for sure. For the regular Nightfalls, we have a bunch of different options, including Garden World, which is going to be the big Cyclops at the end, the Exodus Crash one, the Invisible Vandal at the end, and then of course the Corrupted, which is going to be that Tech Witch at the end of the Forsaken campaign one. Pretty much across the board, the fastest and highest scoring Nightfall is almost always the Strange Terrain. Now maybe it's not always the fastest, but it's a pretty fast one because you can skip a lot. The heroic burn for this week will be Solar Singe. The Crucible rotating playlist is going to be Class, which is just Team Deathmatch, and then also be Breakthrough, which is kind of like a tug of war, but it's not really that great. As for Reckoning this week, the boss is going to be the Likeness of Oryx. If you needed anything from this week, including the Spare Ration, still a great weapon until it sunsets, obviously, and even after that, you can use it for a lot of things, and of course the modifier is going to be Void Singe. The Flashpoint will take place this week on IOs, completing those public events, Lost Sectors, and Heroic Adventures to complete this as fast as possible, and of course, by the way, the contact missions are actually going to be on Titan. Unfortunately, it did not line up this time. As for Escalation Protocol, this week it will be all three. And that's because last week was all three, and next week will be the infamous Shotgun. Moving on to Menagerie, this week the boss is going to be Bagori, beloved by Callus, the big Hydra at the end. The regular mode will obviously have Solar Singe. It does line up with the heroic modifiers, and then the heroic version is going to have things like Extinguish, Match Game, Attrition, and Arc Singe. This is going to be the hardest boss because Attrition kind of sucks. Not that hard, but out of all of them, this is the one I would stay away from. As for the Nightmare Hunts, this week we're going to have things like the Fanatic, Crota, and Fogoth. Fogoth being the easiest one, because there's a bunch of spots you can cheese the boss and sit there without the boss being able to see you. For the Garden of Salvation raid, the challenge this week will be To the Top. I believe this is going to be the third encounter of the raid. This is going to be the encounter you actually kill the Harpy boss, and in this encounter you have to deposit 10 modes anytime you deposit modes. So instead of doing the 5-10-10-5 strategy, you have to do 10-10-10. The best way to do that is to send somebody early, because whenever you tether, you get enlightened. Just figure out where the Minotaur is the first time he appears, and then send somebody early, and then of course replace him with the first 5 guy, or the first 10 guy. It's actually not that bad when you have the strat. Moving on to Eververse's inventory, today we're going to be taking a look at a few interesting items, including the Grasping Thoughts, which obviously you look like Eris, and she's always, her mind is tainted with the thoughts of darkness and evil. You also have the ship that we saw in the Dawn, which kind of looks like a motorized fallen ship, which is actually kind of cool. I do like the colors, but obviously you do have the ability to color it whatever you want. You also have some other things like Cabal Entrance is pretty straightforward. You have a Grail Underscale, which looks okay on some things, but can be a little bit weird and bland. For the other Bright Dust section, you have things that's called Keep It Clean, where you just put a bunch of stuff into a box. I believe it, no, okay, maybe it was the other one. I thought it like changed the items that you put in the box, but it seems to be the same each time. You also have Waking Nightmare, a very good looking ship. It's a similar model, but a lot of cool stuff on it. You also have this little ghost thing, the Sparrow thing, the Hand Cannon Vogue, which is pretty straightforward. You got an ornament for the Wardcliff Coil. It looks pretty freaking cool. This might actually just be one of my my thumbnails. You never know. You got some other things across the bottom, pretty straightforward. Transmet effects that are pretty straightforward. You have the Suros Modular Shine, which looks good on a lot of things, by the way. And of course, Monochromatic, which looks also really good on things. I would recommend these two specifically. They have been around since the beginning of the game, and they are pretty good. This one, not so much. Yeah. Have you considered that perhaps? Meow. And finally, for Hawthorne's inventory, her weekly raid challenges, and of course flexing my 1060 drops in case you don't have any 1060. You get to see that I have a full 1060 on all of my characters. Anyways, weekly raid challenges. For the Last Wish raid, we have Witch. This is gonna be Shiro Chi. Second encounter of Last Wish raid, just don't get hit by her regular ball attack. Really annoying because it's really glitchy. For the Scourge of the Past, we have To Each Their Own. This is going to be taking place in the boss encounter of this raid, and in this encounter, every single person, all 6 people, has to destroy at least one of these shield generators on the boss's body. And you have to do this for every phase of damage that you do. And for the Crown of Sorrows raid, we have With Both Hands, again in the boss fight, and during the actual boss fight, at some point, he's going to actually have a DPS phase, and he's going to start raising his hands. You, as a singular person, can only shoot down one of the hands once throughout that phase, and he's going to raise his hands up to 3 times. Just have, 3 pairs of people assigned to those 3 pairs of hands. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty much the end of the video. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any questions, concerns. If you just like the way that the Master of New Monarch here wears his little hat, let me know in the comments down below. Of course, come check out our live streams. We do pretty much after every single weekly reset, as well as after the Zur and other times you can see on screen right now. Find a link to my Twitch in the description down below. We play Destiny 2, some other games. We do open lobbies. If you need help doing something, you need a question answered right away, is a great place to do it. So come check it out. Come have some fun. We're going to be playing some Destiny 2, especially with the new thing coming out. We're going to see what exactly is this Golden Age tech that Anna wants to take a look at, especially if you're in school right now and you want to just watch somebody else do it. Here we go. All right, that's the end of it. I hope you guys did enjoy. My name is Dychronic, and I'll see you guys on the next one.